Northwestern has a brand new athletic director, Mark Jackson, and he's had himself quite the career already. He was named the Under Armour Athletic Director of the Year just a few years ago while he was in charge of the athletic programs at Villanova. Former athlete himself back in D3 in the 90s, and he's good enough to join us now and talk about his new gig. Mark, you had things going quite well for you at Villanova into your tenure, a couple of men's basketball national championships. Why leave there to come to Northwestern?
It's a good question. You know, the whys, and they're really obvious. As hard as it was to leave a wonderful place at Villanova that will carry with us, me and my family, forever, I think I was ready for a new challenge, and there was so much alignment with where Northwestern wants to go and where I feel my career has taken me. And when I considered all that it offered, it became really, really clear that this was the right next step for us. And I just cannot wait to take on the challenge. And only been around here a few days, and every day I get more excited about what's in front of us.
What's going to be most similar and what's going to be most different for you in this new job?
Well, I think first, most similar, aligned with elite academic profiles. They're both private institutions. The expectations around the brand, both on and off the field, are extremely high. The networks are global, lifelong, very influential networks. It's just Northwestern's bigger, and they're doing it on a bigger stage in the best conference in college athletics. And, the demands there will be more, they'll be broader, they'll be deeper. And I have some learning to do. I have some listening to do in terms of what the differences are. But so far, so good. I feel like Villanova has given me an unbelievable experience and has prepared me really well, along with the other experiences before that.
In your years as an athletic director, what have you learned are the most important things that a good AD has to do?
You have to immerse yourself into the community. We can't be on an island in athletics. We have to immerse ourselves not only in the athletic community, but in the broader campus community, especially at an elite top 10 academic university like Northwestern. That is a priority. I am not a guy that likes to sit in my office. I'm not a guy that likes to be behind my desk. I want to get out. I want to meet the student athletes. I want to meet our donors. I want to meet our alums. I want to meet the people in the city of Chicago that have a wonderful connection to our university. I'm an externally oriented athletic director. Now, you can't take your eye off the important things and the academic piece and the success we have in the classroom. And some of that requires being on campus and having structure and discipline. But I'm really, really excited just to get out and try and raise the profile of what already is a globally respected brand.
This is a presidential election year, and who are you voting for? Kidding, just kidding, just kidding. No, they often ask presidential candidates, like, day one on the job, what are you going to do? So what is it you see as, like, one of your first priorities of things you want to get done now that you're officially in charge in Evanston?
Okay, well, day one on the job actually has already come and went. And
That's true.
We had a field hockey win, we had a men's soccer win, and then the next day we had a football win, and the next day we had another field hockey win. No, I'm kidding. It's, just again, I want to listen, learn, immerse myself. I have a meeting here with our entire department following this interview. I just met with the football team Saturday during the game. I met hundreds and hundreds of alums and donors on this unbelievable lakeside setting that was just unbelievable to take in. I've been around college and professional athletics for 30 years, and I've never seen an experience like that one that was just not next to a lake, but on top of a lake. And to come out with a victory was just phenomenal. So, the immediate thing is just to let people know who I am and what I'm about, and try and meet as many people as I can. And then, determine the next steps and evaluate, what we're going to be. Critically important, as we know, we're going through a historic time in college athletics where there's a lot of modeling, a lot of figuring out what's next. And, some of that is gloom and doom about these dark clouds and impending storms around college athletics. But look, we're not going to take that approach here. We're going to attack it with a positive attitude and a positive mentality. I think Northwestern's equipped to handle whatever's coming next because of who we are as an institution, and not just as an athletic department.
You led me to my next question, which is you're in this kind of unique situation as an athletic director where football is an incredibly important sport, and there are already plans in place to be building a brand new stadium while they also have, like you said, this fascinating new stadium that's a temporary stadium for the next 2 years.
Yeah, it's a really exciting opportunity. And look, I've been associated with some big capital projects before, none like this one. I think what the Ryan family and Pat Ryan Jr. specifically have put together is going to be a huge win for Northwestern, obviously, our athletic department, the Evanston community, and really the greater Chicago community as well. We are reimagining, the whole fan experience around a dynamic stadium, unlike anything else in college football. And I had the chance to meet with Pat for a while when I first got here Friday and dive into the plans with him, and couldn't be any more excited. And what that means, it's a recruiting advantage, it's financial stability, it's additional resources, but then really providing a unique experience on so many different fronts that will provide advantages across the board.
Unique is such an appropriate word to describe your situation and your school in general. The academics are literally as good as just about any college in the country. You're in a conference athletically that is as good as literally any in the country. And those are tough to balance, especially because the alumni base you have, it just factually isn't as big as the Wisconsins and the Ohio States, et cetera, in this conference. So what can be done in your job to keep pace with those bigger schools?
Yeah, we're not ones to compare ourselves against anybody. We're going to do it our way. We think we have all the right resources for all the things that I mentioned, right? An elite academic profile, a top 10 university, top 10 research. I mean, the most beautiful campus in America. We got an energetic and accomplished corral of coaches from top to bottom. I'll put our head coaches up against anybody. I think we can recruit an elite student athlete here in a way that's different than everybody else. When you consider the value of a Northwestern degree, that may be our biggest recruiting and retention tool. And then when they get here, we can develop them in a comprehensive way from top to bottom, not just athletically, but academically and socially, so that those student athletes go on to have success, they win championships, and guess what? They leave Northwestern with a love and connection to this place for the rest of their lives. And that's happening. That's happening. If you look at the past year, right, we had 7 Big Ten championships and 6, I think, Coach of the Year in the Big Ten. It's doable here. And then to combine that with a really well-resourced, well-connected, influential donor base and alumni base, I think we have all the right ingredients to do it our way, to do it right, and to compete at the highest levels.
I mentioned at the top, you played football yourself back in the early 90s, defensive back in Division III. Give me your greatest athletic highlight.
Oh, man. I was with my brother last night, and he played football at UMass, and he realized and discovered that, YouTube, you can go back and find clips, and he played like a long time ago in the 80s. I played in the 90s. He's much older than I am. But if I had to hearken down into, a memory that stands out, man, the CBB title, right? This is Colby Bates Bowden. This is big news, right? We never lost a CBB title in my 4 years, and that was a team effort. And I take great pride in that. We went 7-1 my senior year at Colby. We only play 8 games, right, in the NESCAC. And I don't think any other team has outdone us since then. So that's a shout out to the class of 1995.
Listen, don't underplay CBB. SportsCenter leads with that most nights. We've made tons of shows around CBB titles. That's a big deal, Mark.
Yeah, I know it is. Everybody wants to know what's happening there. Absolutely.
Mark, congratulations on the new gig. I think you're going to be a great fit there. You're going to love being a part of the Big Ten and living life in Evanston. Thanks for your time. We'll talk to you soon.
Hey, you bet. Doors are always open to you. Go Cats.